Imagine for a second that you're living in the most advanced, interconnected, and luxurious era human beings have ever seen. You've got trade routes stretching across entire continents, you have massive cities with plumbing, gold-plated palaces, and a diplomatic system so sophisticated it makes the modern UN look like a playground dispute. Everyone is getting rich, the gods are happy, and it feels like the party is never going to end. And then, in the span of a single human lifetime, it all just stops. The cities are burned to the ground. The writing systems are forgotten. The trade ships stop coming. It's not just a recession or a bad decade, it's the literal end of the world. Today, we're talking about the Bronze Age collapse. This isn't just a history lesson, it's the ultimate psychological thriller of the ancient world. We are going back to the year 1200 BCE, an era that was arguably more globalized than the world would be again for another 3,000 years. If you think we're the first generation to live in a small world where everything is connected, think again. The Eastern Mediterranean back then was a well-oiled machine. You had the Egyptians under the pharaohs, the Hittites in what is now Turkey, the Mycenaean Greeks, the guys from the Iliad and the Odyssey, and the Babylonians. They were all texting each other via clay tablets, trading tin from as far as Afghanistan and copper from Cyprus to make bronze, which was the high-tech silicon chip of their day. If you didn't have bronze, you didn't have a military, and you didn't have an economy. But here's the thing about being perfectly connected. When one brick in the wall starts to crumble, the whole house of cards is coming down. Around 1177 BCE, things started to get weird. And I don't mean a few bad harvests weird. I mean everything that could go wrong did go wrong at exactly the same time weird. It was the original perfect storm. Scientists and historians have spent decades trying to find the smoking gun, the one event that ended it all. Was it an earthquake? Was it a drought? Was it a massive invasion of mysterious sea people who showed up out of nowhere to burn everything in sight? The truth is, it was all of the above. Imagine you're a king in one of these great cities. You start hearing rumors from the north that entire kingdoms are vanishing. You send out a letter to a neighboring king asking for help, and the reply you get back is basically a frantic scream on paper. We actually have these letters. One clay tablet found in the city of Ugarit says, "The enemy ships are here, the cities are burned, we are alone." That letter was never sent. It was found in the ruins of a city that was destroyed before the messenger could even leave the gate. That is the level of game over we are talking about. Before we get into the gritty details of how these empires fell one by one, if you're enjoying this deep dive into the moments where history takes a sharp left turn, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. We're constantly digging into the mysteries that shaped our world, and I'd love to have you along for the ride as we uncover what really happened in the shadows of the past. So, let's talk about the Sea People. For a long time, historians blamed these mysterious marauders for the whole collapse. They were like the Vikings of the Bronze Age, showing up in high-prowed ships, hitting the coast, and leaving nothing but ash. But lately, we've realized they weren't the cause, they were a symptom. Imagine the climate suddenly shifts. The rains stop falling. For 20 years, the crops fail. People start starving. When people starve, they move. These sea people weren't just an army, they were refugees. They were desperate families on the move, looking for anywhere that still had food, and they were willing to fight to the death for it. Now, add earthquake storms to the mix. It sounds like a bad disaster movie, but it's a real geological phenomenon. The Mediterranean sits on a massive fault line, and sometimes, you get a series of massive quakes that ripple through the region for 50 years straight. Imagine your city is already starving, your trade routes are cut off because the neighboring kingdom just got wiped out, and then, the ground opens up and knocks down your walls. Without walls, you're defenseless against those hungry refugees we just talked about. It was a domino effect of epic proportions. The Mycenaean Greeks were the first to go. Their massive palaces, places like Mycenae and Tiryns, were burned and abandoned. These and tactics they used during these final battles, let me know in the comments. Thanks for hanging out and exploring the end of the world with me. I'll catch you in the next one.